Hello and welcome to Softball SA Premier League action. A massive night of softball tonight. A clash between the two top teams. It's James Harris here along with Kathy and Mark. Lee will join us later. Well, hello and welcome.
Hello, guys. Hello, Kathy. It's a bit chilly here tonight, and I brought the short sleeves.
Yeah, hello, James and Mark. Nice to be back. It's been a while since I had a call with both of you. But yeah, Mark, there is a little bit of a chilly breeze. The temperature says 19, but I think that breeze makes it feel much cooler.
Well,
It is.
we just saw the graphics on screen. Sturt Falcons, 15 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw. West Torrens, 14 wins, 7 losses. Just 3 points separate these two teams with 4 games to go. The interesting stat amongst that is that they still have to play each other in the final round, which is game number 25. Well, it is the heavyweights tonight. Both with a bit of a different look about their team tonight. The underdogs for the Eagles trying a slightly different infield tonight. Jordan Harris, probably the best season we've seen for a shortstop in many years, at least for quite a while, has been moved from short to second base. Kaisler from third to short, and Sophie Hoyle moving into third base.
That'll be an interesting shift, I think, for probably. Jordan and Sophie will be fine, but Lana, she's so used to being so close to the ball at third base, but also in her catcher position.
You're 100%. You're 100% right, Kathy. She owns that third base position, and rightly so. So she'll be feeling it out there a little bit. I'm sure she would have got some words from wisdom of Home Run Harris and the likes, but they don't like to go too far away from each other, do they, Lana and Jordan? They like to sort of just follow each other around the diamond.
Well, look, they have known each other since basically birth, growing up in the same community town of Nurutpa. So yeah, they're very well connected, and both took on the teaching profession as well. So yeah, their lives are very similar, and so are their interests.
Let's go across the diamond to the Sturt Falcons. They're without a couple of their leaders, Ada Caruana and Belinda Whitebell, still away with the Aussie squad. But man, oh man, do they have something special. Probably the Cath Coral Medal favourite in Maddie Cameron, white hot form, ready and set to lead the team. We can see Harris on screen right there. She'll be the lead-off batter for the West Torrens Eagles. Zali Adams to do the pitching. And, of course, Sarah Tonkin behind the plate. Plate umpire Mike Bendel calls play ball.
And you're right, James. Maddie's just having a cracker of a season, isn't she? And her game on Saturday, which was part of the live feed, just offensively and defensively was, just superb.
And you can see the respect that Sturt's showing Home Run Harris as she drives that one out to shortstop. Slight fumble as it bounces up, but you're never going to beat Harris out with wheels like that. I was just saying that the Sturt team is showing some respect there to Jordan Harris. She's been crushing the ball lately. Left field was deep. Maddie Cameron was deep and was out there signalling to right field just to come in and around a bit because they know the power that Jordan's. And speaking of power, look who's on deck now, Lana Kaisler. Again, following Jordan Harris.
Yeah. And,
Stolen base attempt from Harris arrives safely. Throw from Tonkin just a little low. It bounced before Adams could take it. Runner in scoring position.
They don't give you much, do they? One pitch and she was gone. Yes, she's got the ability to do that on any pitch, but geez, they're red hot tonight. They want to go.
I think that's these teams face each other a lot, and that's what you got to do. You got to mix things up a little bit. Most people would expect you'd wait to see a few, but why are we always play? Why do we want to play what we expect at this level against this quality of teams? We need to have some of those really surprise things going on as well.
Great pitch there by Adams. That was a perfect spot. And made Kaisler chase that one out with a bit of a half swing slap. It was high, but that's where that change drop just came into play before, and it just fell right into Tonkin's glove. So
yeah, Adams ahead of the count.
Oh, 100%.
2 strikes really made Kaisler protect the strike zone there, and that's exactly what she did. Fouled one off.
Yeah.
Another changer.
Beautiful.
Yeah, reaching out for that one, Lana was.
Because, Lana waits on him. She's good at picking the change up. Again, Adams got her there, but she can sit on it, and she's got that it's not a big motion on her swing, is it? She generates plenty of power through her hips, so she can hold on that little bit more. But Adams had the upper hand on that one.
High for ball one, and Kaiser's really come on the second half of the season. One of the reasons why West Torrens' success has been so good is that the entire lineup's been contributing. So don't count her out here, even though she's behind the count. She grounds this one to the backhand side of second base Tonkin to make the out at first, the first out of the inning. But there's Harris on screen, safely across to third.
Well, that's what you talk about, doing the job, isn't it? You put the ball behind your runner, and you got one little fumble there or whatever, and Harris was rounding home. Yeah, definitely. Rounding third. So she's done her job. It's a team game, and she's done her job. And going back to the order, just like you were saying, Jim, everybody is positioned well in this West Torrens lineup, I think.
Yeah, there's plenty of depth in this team. Lineup, it goes right from first batter right down to 9. Yep. And even someone like Jackie Beale, who's not in the batting lineup tonight, is also
she's hitting
DP. Sorry, yeah. So she's also a strong batter. So it's just really strong right throughout.
We'll have to go through the defensive lineup in a moment, just maybe in between batters. 0-2 count for Faith Picard, who's hitting 3 for the Eagles. Normally put your best batter in the 3 spot. Definitely not out of her league or depth. Batting at 3, Faith Picard has been an absolute solid rock contributor for this West Torrens team the last 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, definitely. I've got so much respect for Faith as a player. She's just solid every single game. She's a great all-rounder, great utility. Never seen her have a bad game.
Change-up is fouled off.
And waited on it too. She looks like a batter out there, doesn't she? She's got that strut to the box. She's feeling confident. She's adjusting herself. And she's like, you know what? I bring it, because this is going to be a great game.
Last time these two teams played, it was West Torrens in a run fest, 11-7. Faith Picard gets a shot up the middle, an RBI single to get the Eagles off to a great start.
That was a good turn at bat, wasn't it? She just sat in there and sat in there and sat in there and just fouled a couple off and then drove that one right up the middle and just out of reach by Tonkin.
Yeah, exactly, Mark. It was really well positioned. And again, you were talking about kind of getting behind the batter in the run, in the hits. So putting it on that side of the field there just provided that opportunity for Jordan to make it home.
You know what I saw is Rachel Tonkin was doing the right thing. She was in on the line with a runner on third to try and reduce the opportunity to score. She was back in the position she's in now as Faith Picard takes off for a second stolen base of the inning for the Eagles. If she was back where she is now, she had a better chance of getting that back.
She was only one step away. You're 100% right, Jim. She would have got that. Steph Trezisi's out there having a bit of a giggle to herself, because that was a cover swing, but that was one of the ugliest cover swings I've ever seen in my life. But it did the job. Now, you got a runner in scoring position with someone of the power of Trzezinski. She fires that one out to left field and it hits the glove. And Jury just put that down a little bit.
Great awareness from Trzezinski. She didn't take a foot off the pedal. She'll stand up at second base with Picard in scoring position in third. So, costly error here for Sturt with 2 runners in scoring position now.
Well, have a look at Steph. I might have words to her as a person who's done some sprint coaching with her.
Well, no. You've done a good job, because when she realised, she took off and she was there clearly. But I tell you, they've come out to play West Torrens tonight, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
And here's one of my favourite batters, Mrs. Reliable. You watch this.
First pitch, a ground ball to shortstop. Adams checks the runner.
Nice play.
And fires it across to first for the second out. Runners stay put. 2 outs.
I would love to know the contact to strikeout ratio, because Kelsey Nucky is dependable about contact. And again, yes, it was contact, but you put pressure on the players. You can't force errors, or you can't get on base and bits and pieces if you don't make contact. She's dependable.
Yeah, hitting around 350 for the season as well.
It's handy, isn't it?
Just continues to shine in the Premier League. Sophie Hoyle is the new hitter.
Yeah, and she's been, since she's been available the last few games, wow, she's been a great contribution to the team in terms of getting her bat. She's a good strong bat and just been getting a few RBIs.
The old home run Hoyle.
Fouls this one off. Yeah, she's done it for a couple of teams now, hasn't she? She's was previously at Glenelg, a native of Sunraysia, Mildura area.
The fully loaded. She was playing for the Angels and can bat that shorter distance home run fence.
Yeah.
Zali's doing a good job here, even though West Torrens are going after her. She's still in a zone and she's still finding very good spots. I just think that West Torrens have just got the edge with the bat at the moment.
Smashes this one deep centre field. Maddie Cameron tracks back. She was back a couple of steps to start with. Takes a good catch to end the inning. West Torrens threatened but only score one. So not a bad defensive inning after all from the Sturt Falcons.
Yeah, that one went long too. The wind held it up a little bit there, but Maddie Cameron just tracked back and had it comfortably in the end there with that. That's a big glove, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. And again, as you said, the same with Jordan, but the Sturt defense were giving lots of respect to Sophie and making sure they were sitting quite back, knowing the power that she can generate off the bat.
Well, one big run for the West Torrens Eagles, but their defence is where they're going to win it here tonight if they do win it, as they have. Well, their ace isn't throwing. Let's call it as we see it. But Taylor Mead, gee, she's pitched so well this year for West Torrens, contributing, shouldering the load the first half of the season, and then a solid contribution throughout the rest of the time that Steph Trzynski has been available. She's still got 3 wins under the belt as well. So I think she's learnt valuable lesson playing for West Torrens, noting that you've got a great defence behind you. You just got to do your job, get the batters to put the ball into play. And
she did do a great job, and she has done a great job, and she will do another great job today. And as you said, James, I mean, she was brought. She filled a spot when Steph was unavailable to pitch early in the season, and she did an awesome job at that. And completely different type of pitcher to Steph, but as you said, putting her faith in what she's got behind her just gave her that ability to just focus on what she needed to do and nothing else.
Yeah, definitely a much improved player of this Premier League competition. We don't have the great man Lee Hull here to go around the defensive lineup, so I'll do the duties. Taylor Mead's pitching to Carly Allen, Kelsey Nucky at first, Jordan Harris at second, Sophie Hoyle at third, and Lana Kaiser at shortstop. The outfield is Faith Picard, Steph Trzynski, and Mary Fuss. Now, why is Lee not here? He's over at Diamond 2, sending us through some updates, and he'll come and review the game that's been played at the moment on Diamond 2, Walkerville versus Hills Heat, and that's thanks to MK Services SA. Well, Walkerville are leading 3 runs to 1 after 4 innings. They scored all 3 of those in the first inning, and they've held the lead ever since. Massive in the context of the season as Taylor Mead throws that first one in there just a little high on leadoff batter Sarah Tonkin. Massive in the context of the ladder, in that Walkerville and Port Adelaide sit 4th and 5th respectively, with only runs differential separating the two. So a win foul from Sarah Tonkin, a win from Walkerville will get them to 20 points on the ladder, forcing Port Adelaide to chase them.
Yeah, it's a very, very tight. It's a very tight ladder, isn't it? I mean, we're seeing 1v2 now as Tonkin just pushes that one down to Hoyle. And what a pickup! What a pickup and what a throw, Hoyle!
How impressive was that, having not played this position for quite some time?
Look out,
at the leading
Kaiser.
team's replay. She had to come down and charge it, and she didn't have time to stop and
bang,
anchor that foot in to throw it over. Great throw on the run from
Now,
Sophie
you're
Hoyle.
the sprint coach here, Kathy. How quick is Sarah Tonkin as well? So for Hoyle to pick that up and let it go.
Yeah, it was a really good job on both accounts from both. Yeah, Sarah definitely is got some good legs, and but Sophie, how impressive was that? Because it wasn't even a bunt, you know, it's not as if she's running in for a bunt. She had to make that off of what looked like a bat.
Rachel Tonkin is the 2-hitter for the Falcons as she watches that one through for a called strike. Rachel, I've got an impressive stat for you here. 7-game hitting streak, if you don't mind. Pops this one up to centre field. Steph Trzynski was calling it the entire way in there.
Yeah, good job.
Almost took it off the pitcher.
Yeah, Rachel, she's in fine form this season too, isn't she? Playing so well. I mean, she's always been a good player, but just really making some contributions at the right key moments this season.
A 7-game streak's nothing to sneeze at either, is it? That's a pretty good effort in itself. You know, I think Sturt are a little bit put off by Mead's pace here because they're so eager to swing hard at the ball. They're just waiting that fraction longer, and it's not working for them.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 batters, but it's not working for them.
Millie Fidge is the new hitter for the Falcons, hitting 3 with 2 out. Look at her right up the front of the box.
Geez, wouldn't West Torrens like a 3 up, 3 down here?
Yeah, definitely. Keep their batting momentum going.
You guys would know more than me. How many times have these guys ever met in the grand final?
Well, not for the last couple of years.
No.
I know that because it's been West Torrens Walkerville. Is that right, James, the last couple of years?
Foul ball from Millie Fidge. A question without notice from Mark. He should
I just threw it out there.
know better. They haven't faced off for since Monica Perry. I think I've got a feeling.
I think you'd be right
because Walkerville won the next 2 after Monica. So yeah, it's been a few years.
They always have great matches though, these two. Oh, Fidge.
And she's getting onto that, isn't she? Wow.
But in front though, Kathy, in front, they're just not, that pace is just, they're just off a little bit.
Yeah, they just need to hold that up a little bit.
You know, one thing I always get confused about is, you know, when you warm up before a game and you have someone that rolls over and pitches batting practice for you. If you find that they're quicker at throwing the ball over, you know, rolling it over, just before you come on and you get to that off-pace batter, it puts you off. So you sort of got to really analyse who's going to throw at you.
Wow, Sophie Boyle.
She's all over it tonight, Oil.
Yeah, go on, Mark.
So I was just going to say, maybe the warm-up for Sturt was a little bit too powerful, a little bit too quick tonight, and they're right in front of the ball.
Well, I think strategically that would be, you know, what you should be doing in a warm-up is replicating.
Has to poke at this one, and Kaiser gets her first test at shortstop. Comes in.
She's thinking this is easy.
Couple of steps and fires it across to Nucky for the 3rd out. So a 1-2-3 inning. And that'll end the first here tonight in the battle between the top 2 teams. It's West Torrens leading after 1 inning, 1 run to 0.
Yeah, I'd be quite curious at the end of the game to talk to Lana, you know, depending on how many more plays she gets and her perception of, you know, is it, I know that I played both of those positions, third and short, and pitcher over my time, and I much preferred the reflexes of third base than shortstop because it's just far too much time to think, and, you know, your head could be going through 1,000 plays before the ball gets to it, whereas third base, you just got to put your glove down and do it.
It's all instinctive play at third, isn't it?
All right, Mark, you got me before. Time to get you back. Can you take us around this Sturt defensive lineup?
You are a legend. I knew you would say that. Zali Adams to Sarah Tonkin behind the plate. Millie Fidge at first base. Rachel Tonkin at second base. Jessie Kish at third. Neve Adams at shortstop. Outfield, Lauren Jury. Centre field, as always, Maddie Cameron and Indigo Bector Silva out at right. Keach.
Well done, Mark.
Keach.
Yep, you got it right. Yeah, on your 3rd attempt. Jessie Quiche.
Q-U-I-C-H-E.
Jessie Quiche.
I apologise
Third base.
to the Keach family. I'm terrible at names and he tried to hang me out there.
Ended up getting myself tongue twisted. Mike Bendel's the plate umpire. Damien McCauley at first base and Ian Gray at third. The men officiating tonight's game. Mary Fuss is batting 7 for West Torrens.
they've got a swagger tonight in the box. She's out there, Mary, and she's confident, and I like it. Throughout my career, James, you know that I've always been a shy, you know, sort of, I don't like the limelight. I just go out there, I try and do my job, and I couldn't ooze the confident like other players.
That one's a called strike on the outside edge. Yep. So what are you?
So I'm admiring those that can do it. And Mary
okay.
Fuss and the rest of the West Torrens team at the moment have got the swagger that I just didn't have.
I'm not sure I'm believing you, Mark.
High for a ball, and Fuss will get herself on from a base on ball. So lead off on once again for West Torrens. Carly Allen.
Another dangerous batter.
Yeah, she's been pretty consistent. I'd be interested to know if she's on any hitting streak as well, because it just following. Not that I need an answer, but you know, I'm just interested, particularly with just some of the games that I've watched over the last few weeks. She seems to get regular hits.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great question, Kathy.
I'm going to get you guys to do all the notes for the next game, okay? You guys do the notes for the next game, and I'll ask you the questions at random. Here we go. Carly Allen with a 0-1 count. 0-2 count. Fuss, gee, she took off very late and was thrown out easily from Sarah Tonkin. A great pickup from Neve Adams to affect the tag on the run.
Well, that was a great play all around because she just watched that strike come through and had plenty of time.
Do you think it might have been a missed signal because Fuss was watching towards the batter as she was taking off, so it wasn't a straight steal, I don't think, as Allen pushes this right side. Indigo back to Silva, nearly out of play there, and Allen safely aboard, so a single.
That's the one that hurts you when you get a hit on the right side of the field just straight after that, because you know you could have had two on. But that's okay. You know, Fuss is the first out, caught stealing at 2.
DP for tonight, Jackie Beale. Now she shows bunt, squared to bunt, on the move from the left-handed batter's box, which she's known for doing over the last couple of years, but pulls out, but it was a called strike. She's in the DP position because she can actually come in and replace pitcher Taylor Mead if required. She's been a handy contributor along with Taylor Mead for the West Torrens battery this year.
Yeah, again, real all-rounder, pitcher, great outfielder, doing great things in the batting box as well. Just a solid player.
Does get the bunt down.
No one at 3.
Keach fires it across, out of the reach of Tonkin. Good backup from Beck de Silva, and Carly Allen will be able to stroll in to third.
Well, that goes back to what I was saying before when Kelsey Nucky put the ball into play, where I said you've got to make contact. As we watch the replay here, is that one just a little bit high and outside? Couldn't make the ground on that one. That was Rachel Tonkin had come across to cover on the bunt because Fidge had come down a long way, ducked to right, and just come off the tip of the glove too. Great backing up by Indigo Beck de Silva, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Because that was the difference of a run potentially if she wasn't there.
We're going to go to the top of the order here in the second inning for West Torrens with just the one out, 2 runners aboard, and Sturt's pulled the cord very quickly, haven't they? They've gone straight to Fidge.
Well, I said to you at the start, didn't I? I said they're coming out. That's only one run through, like one complete time they've seen her, and they've changed Zali Adams out. West Torrens have got a different mindset tonight against Sturt. They want to secure this second place, don't they? Or have the opportunity to take it all the way in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it looks like Millie might be struggling a little bit with that pitching surface. He's just doing a little bit of landscaping there.
I can tell you right now, if our grounds crew's watching this, they would be rolling over in their comfort of their lounge room. I'm sure they're watching from home, wondering who's going to be repairing that work tomorrow.
Well, it certainly won't be me, James.
Nor me.
I'm sure it's the grounds crew's worst nightmare, watching the players come in and dig up the hard work that they've done throughout the week.
Coach Scott out there having a bit of a chat with Jordan Harris. I just let it bat, to be honest with you. We've got a 1-3 split here. What do we do, James?
Well, Jackie Beale's pretty quick, so I wouldn't put it by him to allow her to take an extra base here. Maybe even from a pass ball. A couple of those warm-up pitches weren't close as Millie was struggling with her footwork, but Harris goes first pitch, and it was out of the zone, and so that's
the intention's there.
Yeah, that's a win for the Falcons. Change up. This one goes to shortstop, and
Missed the double play.
yeah, Adams had an opportunity to roll one up the middle. Decided to check the runner at third, ensure she didn't score. Let's look at the leading team's replay. And fired it across to first base for the second out. And as there's 2 out, Carly Allen comes off catch a speed up rule, and Harris takes her place as the courtesy runner.
The preferable play there for my liking would have been to take the runner going to 2. So you still ended up with a 1-3 split. And Harris would have been at first, not at third, which is a dangerous spot for Harris to be at.
Yeah, spot on.
Pitch. That one, one bounce and into the ankle. She's smiling there, Lana Kaiser. So
That's
loaded
Kaiser's.
bases for West Torrens.
Kaiser's second hit for the night. Classic.
Leading team's replay was right on the shin, above the ankle.
Yeah, she's tough. Dangerous position here, and dangerous part of the lineup for West Torrens. Well, I should say for Sturt, on behalf of the West Torrens lineup.
Must have been low, I think. Or maybe inside. Faith Picard has a smile, ball 1. High for ball 2. A win for Sturt tonight will put them 5 points ahead of West Torrens with 3 games to go. So you'd pretty much assure them top spot if they win tonight. A win for West Torrens puts them 1 point behind ladder leaders Sturt Falcons. And a chance to finish minor premier, you'd think.
That's what I mean. There's a lot to play for tonight. Everyone thought this game might be a bit of a rubber, just feel each other out, but there's a lot to play when you look at the stats of the board. Millie Fidge is, I think she's in a bit of a shock here, Millie, because she wouldn't have been expecting to come in so quick in the game. So she's warming up as that one's a base ball 4, base on balls, brings Harris home, who was courtesy running for Carly Allen. So yeah, Fidge is going to have to just settle, find her groove, and I think she'll be fine once she gets going.
Well, Faith Picard has got both runs batted in for the game. RBI single in the first inning and an RBI base on balls here in the second as Trzynski goes first pitch.
I'm going to ask a stupid question. Is that such a thing, an RBI base on balls? Yep. Does that go down in your RBI stats?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
If I knew that, I could have bloody got my stats up before I retired.
You could always check it with our trusty scorers to our left.
High for ball 1, so 1-1 count on Trzynski. We've got 2 outs and loaded bases. Eagles left 2 runners aboard in the top of the first. So plenty of opportunities. Change up, and Trzynski swings hard at that.
Yeah, really well pitched. Whoever's I assume it's Sarah making the calls there, but wow, that was just so well placed by Millie as well.
You'd have a bit of a giggle to yourself, wouldn't you, as the catcher, when you know that's coming. And Steph goes after that one high, and as always, she gives it everything that she's got.
Fidge still ahead of the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're reaching about 8:30, which will signal close to the end of the other game. Trzynski waits on that change up, smashes it to the left side. 2 runs cross the plate for the Eagles. Trzynski in a familiar position to this time last inning. Aboard on second. Let's look at the leading team's replay. She really went up the grip of the bat to have more control of the swing. There's Kaiser crossing for the second run. Jackie Beale scored as well as she hustles through to second base. Picard over to third.
Watch Kaiser. She's wheeling, isn't she?
Yeah, ground ball to the outfield. Always looking to score from second. Kelsey Nucky, a strike called.
Kelsey won't be fazed by that high strike.
Seemed to be the top of the zone. Change up.
Another good pitch, yeah.
Nucky still able to get bat on ball.
What are we going to go here? High? Rise ball outside maybe?
Both those pitches were high.
I think a bit
She
more
went
pace
after
and
him.
high. I'm going pace and high.
Yeah, I'd go pace after the change-up.
Oh, good pitch.
3 pitches, 3 strikes for Millie Fidge. That's the first strike out of the ball game, actually, and
I put the commentator's curse. I apologise, girls.
that will retire the Eagles an 8-batter inning. They put 2 more on the board, 3 more on the board to go ahead, 4 runs to 0. Halfway through the second inning, so the Falcons, who have only had 3 batters so far in the game, going to have to chase down the Eagles. It's a pretty tight competition between the 2 teams. I'll spit it out if I can. They've played 3 times this year, 2 wins to 1 in favour of West Torrens, and the only team with a winning record against the Falcons this season so far. And the last time they played, it was an 11-7 win to the Eagles in a high-scoring affair. And in 11 days' time, they will play each other for the 5th time this season.
No.
Yeah, and Mad March leading into the final. So this is where it's getting, really interesting. And this is where a team should be reaching their peak and, being really comfortable with their team members and who does what on the field in preparation for that final.
West Torrens had a bit of a slow start, if memory serves me correct, didn't they? And then they're coming home with a wet sail. So they're coming, it's the first time we see Cameron up to bat.
An 0-4 start to the season, and they've gone 14-3 since then.
Yeah, right. An 0-4, you don't want to start off like that every season, but look at what they're doing now. They're coming in, and Mead would be feeling this as well. Like, don't take anything away from Fidge and Adams, but Mead will be feeling the pressure now because they've got 4 runs in front, and she's got to come in cold after a nice long dig. And look who she's got to face, one of the best in the business.
Well, I'll give you a stat here. In honour of Bruce McAvaney, who's hung up the headphones.
I did think
for the
of you.
AFL anyway.
I did think of you during the week.
Maddie Cameron's stat coming up for you as she's got a 2-0 count. 3-0. Now, Maddie Cameron didn't get a hit in the first game of this season. And then since then, she's got 29 hits from the 19 games that she's played.
Wow.
19-game hitting streak.
I can't believe she didn't get a hit in the first game.
Wow. Yeah, she's just having an absolute dream season, offensively, defensively. It's great to see her enjoying her softball and playing so well.
Yeah, 100%.
Not only does she have a 19-game hitting streak, but she's also got played in 9 games where she's had multiple hits in the game. And that's 2 or more hits in a game.
Wow.
Yeah, great
Bit of
stat.
quick math there.
Oh, gets a big lead off there, and it's a race back to the base between
tussle,
Jordan and
Jordan.
Maddie.
Say, Cameron and Harris out there, a couple of elbows going.
They dinnered together before the game.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, they work together.
And they were at
used
the
to
gym
live
together as well, yeah.
They're at the gym together, so why not share first base together?
Lauren Jury's the batter up to bat. I'm actually pretty sure she was in Jordan's wedding as well.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, she was.
Very good day.
Mead throws it in and does the fielding. Lauren Jury lays down a good bunt. And that throw has gotten away from Harris. And both runners have advanced. Jury to second, Cameron to third.
Looked like there was a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a miscommunication of some sort on who was going to pick that up, and then I think it just put the pressure on.
There was a little bit of
Taylor.
hesitation there as well from Mead. She sort of guided it to first base, where in times like that, I think you just trust your instincts and you just fire it. You're right, Jim, fire it over there, and then you make the secondary play. But when you just try and guide it across, sometimes you can come unstuck. I bet Maddie Cameron would have liked to have seen that one.
Yeah, Neve Adams, the new hitter. She's actually done pretty well so far in this game. But Cameron getting on from a lead-off walk. As Adams reaches for that one a little. But yeah, good point, Kathy. She hit it very hard out to the left corner. So no outs, 2 runners in scoring position. And that's a sign of a good team, isn't it? Just to fight straight back after giving up a couple of runs.
Yeah, don't write them off.
So they're never out of it.
Oh, she went after that one high.
She did.
Expecting it to come down a little bit, though, I think, Kathy, that sort of, but stayed up. So you could either say it was a great pitch or it was a judgment and error to swing.
Yeah, it depends which team you're on, what you're going to say.
Still going hard is Adams.
It's that off pace where they're starting high and dipping in, and then every now and then they stay high because you put a little bit more on it. So it's one of those, you know, times that you've just got to choke up a little bit and punch them out.
One's low for a ball. It's ball 1.
Two runs out there in scoring position. So sweet contact. Look how Kaisley's come right across the third.
Yeah, she's sensing that ball's going to be coming in on that side, obviously with the fouls that Neve has already done.
I was about to say one shot, you know, powerful shot up the 3rd or 5, 6 hole. And that's what made me draw my attention out to Lana Kaisley. She's come right across, which opens up a massive. So I would be choking up a little bit and just sort of push it out. Pass. Oh, that one's going to drop in, is it?
High ball out to Faith Picardi, takes a good catch, throws it in. Cameron was tagging up, slides in to home to score. So sacrifice fly to Adams, and the Falcons are on the board.
Yeah, well, it was a good hit, a good little tussle there. But you're right. See how that was just like a half swing as we watched the replay there. It sort of, excuse me, it was just a bit of a check at it. So she did the right thing. She sort of went, oh, just a little bit half. Didn't come around like the likes of Trzynski or anything like that. So just gave it a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what she really needed to do, isn't it? I mean, she had those runners in scoring position. She just needed to pop it out of the outfield, not try and do too much more with it. Sorry, pop it out of the infield.
DP for the Falcons is Olivia Baker. Checking my stat sheets here, I think this is her first game of the season playing A grade.
Fantastic. Yep, that's always one of my highlights of watching softball and commentating is seeing these new players, these juniors getting their opportunity.
Did I see her out there before? Sorry, Jim, with the catching gear on? Warming up? Is she a catcher usually? No? I've asked you the wrong question again.
I'm not sure. This might even be her A-grade debut. I can be correct if I'm wrong, but it looks like the Falcons are running a bit thin, obviously missing Caruana and White. I'm looking through the lineup. Jordan Lee listed on the bench. Yeah, Georgia Burr's played a couple of games.
They've got a few in their bullpen. Oh, well, that's because of the batting.
My mistake. It wasn't this. It wasn't Olivia out there before.
Well, she's got herself into a good count, 3-1 count, and gets after this one. And Hoyle takes one on one bounce and gets it across to Nucky for the second out. She waited back deliberately so she could check that runner at third. Let's look at the leading team's replay. Checks that runner and fires it across for the second out.
Yeah, rocket arm there, hasn't she? And just so much confidence and not feeling too much under pressure that she's got to get rid of it really quickly.
Indigo back to silver now. In her first season of A-grade softball, she's really come alive here this second part of the season, contributing with the bat and in the field, playing right field tonight. And fouls this one. Got right under it, didn't she? And
she went after it too. I like that. That was a little bit of aggression shown there, which is exactly what the Falcons need. But she went under the ball a fair bit. Umpire Bendall won't be falling for that one. Doing a great job out there, Taylor Mead. As Indigo, ooh, a nice little underarm there. Probably not required. I would have just kept the ball and ran straight over it. But the Eagles take that one as the third out, and that's side away.
Falcons do put a run on the board, so they edge one back, and after 2 complete innings, it's 4 runs to 1.
That brings up Sophie Hoyle.
Well, we're going to thank Mark. He'll be back in about an inning or so as we let in the great man Lee Hull's going to pick up the mic and gently put it on so there's no feedback. There we go. And it's going to give us an update from the Diamond 2 game. So welcome to the call tonight, Leroy.
Thank you, James and Kathy and Mark. And got quite cool over there on Diamond 2, as you could imagine. Saw an interesting game, Walkerville versus Hills. First innings, Walkerville off to a flyer, 3 runs. Couldn't believe it, what I was seeing. Just a couple of errors and a couple of hits, and there was the 3 runs. And they went along pretty well until Heat scored 1 run, and then in the last innings, the 5th innings, Heat put on 4 big runs. The final score was 5-3. There was 3 triples hit in the game, one by Ash Lapino for Walkerville, one by Danny Perez, and another one by Abby Jorgensen, the young player. They all scored triples, and it was 4 safe hits to Hill for 3 for Walkerville.
We'll come back to that in a sec. Lee, Sophie Hoyle up to bat to start things off in the 3rd inning. Had a deep fly ball to centre field, and you can see Maddie Cameron is, in the dark corners of the diamond here. It's normally lit up pretty well under the Musco lighting, but might be a little bit of a dark patch out there at deep centre field. I can hardly see her. So, Lee, it was a big comeback then. So, a 3-0 start to Walkerville. Gee, they would have thought that they were a chance. There's a shot, a rifle shot past the glove of Jessie Keach at 3rd. Hoyle turns first and will stand up at 2nd. The throw goes wild, beats both backup players, and she turned 3rd to even have a cheeky look at home. Well, I'm going to give that a double to Hoyle, and then taking an extra base on the wild throw that came in from left field, leading team's replay. Have a look at that shot from Hoyle. She got on her bike.
Yeah, absolutely solid piece, wasn't it? Oh, and then there she goes again. Yeah, right down that 3rd base line. It's just really hard for anybody to get that, the pace that came off the bat.
Wouldn't West Torrens be stoked to see Hoyle just coming into form right at the right time of the year?
Yes, and it's because of work commitments, obviously, with Sophie, and you just can't get the trainings and games at times. So, they'll be pretty chuffed about this. So has Millie pitched the entire game?
Well, we'll catch up on that, Lee. In fact, it was Zali through the first 9 batters, which was 1 1/3 inning. Okay. And then Millie's thrown the last 5 batters of the 2nd inning, and she's obviously pitching now. So Mary Fuss is the batter up to bat. She had a base on balls, who led off the second inning for West Torrens. A run at the top of the first, and then 3 at the top of the second for West Torrens to get their 4. And it was a Maddie Cameron lead-off walk, brought in from a Neve Adams sacrifice fly, and that's the score at 4-1 scoreline. So we'll get it from you, Lee. High pitch, way out of the zone, strikeout swinging for Fuss and the first out. Lee, who was doing the pitching over on the game between Walkerville and Hills? Now, for those watching at home, Hills sitting 3rd, Walkerville in 4th, so a massive game for both teams.
Yeah, well, Chantel Lewis, Chump as they call her, her nickname, she pitched the entire game for Hills, but Sally Colquist went most of the game. I think the last innings, halfway through the last innings, the 5th innings, Riley Moore replaced her. So Sally did a good job, but it's just 1 innings, and one thing led to another, a couple of errors, a couple of triples, that helps. Soon you've got 4 runs and you've got the lead. No, full credit to them. It looked like it was going to be an upset. Well, what I'd call an upset, with Walkerville getting 3 in the first. And they just hung in their heat, the Hills heat, and they have certainly consistent this year.
As Allen pokes at this one, up and out to right field. Hoyle is tagging up, and great catch taken on the run from Indigo Bector Silva. She took it at the edge of the grass.
We like her as a player, don't we?
Yeah, and that's the second out. Jackie Beale to come up to bat.
Yeah, sorry, James. It did look like it was in a really unusual or difficult position. 3 people were going for it, and fortunately for Indigo, she got a glove out at the right time in the right place too.
Swing and a miss on the first one for Beale. She laid down a pretty good running bunt. Her first time up, and then a wild throw allowed her to take an extra base. Low for ball 1, 1-1 count. Leo, I was giving the updates that you were providing us, and and when it was 3-1 in the 4th, we were already talking about Walkerville putting on a very much needed win.
Yeah, well, that's how it looked, but no, to Hill's credit, they just kept coming and coming, and they found something this season. They certainly have. They've been very consistent, and they deserve the spot on the ladder where they are.
Low for ball 3, so a 3-1 count. Yeah, they've had a couple of interesting games without Georgia pitching. She's away with the Aussie duties, but a big win against Sturt a couple of games ago, 3-2, and now a big win against Walkerville. Should secure them a finals berth. Now they'll go 7 points ahead of Walkerville now, who are their closest rival in 4th. So that'll secure them with only, 3 games to go. That'll secure them a final spot. So Hills Heat moved to 25 points on the ladder.
And I saw Johanna Grauer there tonight, and so she's obviously going to be pitching in the late game on Diamond 2 against Seacon.
Second strikeout of the inning for Millie Fidge. So although she gave up a lead-off double to Hoyle, she really put the brakes on the Eagles with 2 strikeouts and a pop fly to right field to shut them down in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, and she's she's pitching really well, really clever. Like, as I said, it's obviously the combination between her and Sarah, but she's got to deliver the pitches as well, and just really changing pace up a little bit, and height and location. She's pitching very well.
It's a case of making the batter think all the time, isn't it?
Well, we want to thank all our broadcast partners for helping us bring you Premier League softball action each and every week. And you can catch the live coverage and highlights on the Softball SA Facebook page, YouTube channel and Instagram. NITV is an SBS channel that brings Indigenous stories and issues to the Australian audiences nationwide. And you can catch the action on replay, 10 a.m. Sunday mornings on NITV. That's channel 34, channel 34, free-to-air TV, Fox 172, and SBS On Demand. What a terrific app that is. And that is all thanks to Softball SA and Spacequake Sports.
Yeah, I feel like we've been playing this game for a long time, and this is actually the first time Jessie's come up to bat.
Yeah, bottom of the third inning, the 9-hitter having her first turn at bat, and it's the 9-hitter for West Torrens who was the third out for her second turn at bat here in the third.
Great.
Thanks for coming back, Mark. And thanks to Lee for bringing us that update from Diamond 2. We'll hear plenty more from Lee throughout this season. We've only got a few more broadcasts to go before final series, so it's all shaping up. Getting a bit excited here for the pointy end of the season, and at the same time, a little disappointing that it's coming to a close, you know.
100%. I've really enjoyed this season. It's been fun. The games have been good. The ladder even shows that. Even though Seacombe are down the bottom and they're way behind, we see a base on Bulls. They
had a win last week. They had their third win of the season on Saturday in a what you'd probably call an upset victory over the Hills, 1-0.
Yeah, but it's not reflective of their season either, the points and the way that it's sitting, because they played some really good games and the whole sort of competition is really well rounded this year.
Yeah, I think that's what's made it really interesting season as well, because you don't watch a game and just think it's going to be a walkover one-sided. You never know that until deep into the game or afterwards.
Jessie Keats getting a massive lead off, and gee, that is going to be lighting up Carly Allen's eyes there.
Yeah, Tonkin was shaping up to bunt there and then pulled out when it sort of dipped into the ground. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a bunt and run or, And again, she pulls out because it was low. So it must be a strike-only bunt maybe. It'd be interesting.
You mentioned Seacombe just before, Mark, and how close the competition is. Over the last 3 games, Seacombe's got a better record, win-loss record, than Sturt, Walkerville and Hills.
There you go.
And Port.
They've just come on the wrong time.
Out of them, yeah. Second base on balls, and that's actually 8 pitches in a row. So Taylor Mead has a timeout with Carly Allen and just sharing a bit of a joke. So good to see she's in good spirits.
There's a bear and a rabbit. That's what I would have said. Take your mind off the game. As the plane goes over, you don't see that much these days, do you? Don't see it or hear it. It's exciting. He says travel in the future.
Yeah, looking forward to being able to get around a little bit. High for a ball.
Has Mead, is Mead just guiding him in now? I think she's taken that sort of like pace off again. She's trying to find that strike instead of where she started in the first 2 and was just throwing him down.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were excited about not seeing from her earlier this season, is that she was just actually throwing rather than guiding.
Yeah.
So, I do hope she finds that back again. And the girls around her, there's such experience around her, and, they'll certainly keep encouraging her to do that.
3. So Rachel Tonkin will put the bat away here for the next couple, you'd think.
After seeing, 8, 9, 10 in a row, you'd just 10, 11 in a row, you'd put that away and just say, all right, you strike me out then.
There she goes. I don't think West Torrens, anybody would want to be having 3 on with the likes of Millie Fitch and Maddie Cameron. Well, their whole lineup just keeps going, doesn't it? But you don't want to have runners on base.
Very dangerous.
Well, running bunt attempt. Kelsey Nucky almost waited for it to go foul, decided to pick it up when it was on the line and get it across to Harris for the first out. Sacrifice bunt for Rachel Tonkin. Leading teams replay.
Can I ask, was that the play? Did they need to create a play there? Because it was 3 balls, 1 strike. Still had a ball up a sleeve, and just seen 11 balls in a row.
Yeah, again, if the opportunity's there, we're leading into finals. Try some things that are a bit different, a bit unique. See how they come off. You know, don't play the same safe softball all the time. I don't know. That's how I kind of would see some of these decisions.
Fidge reaches for that one, and Kayser pushes across to the glove side, to the left side, and with the momentum throws it across to third. It's almost like she's playing a second, third base. Look at her. She's sitting in Sophie Orr's back pocket there.
She's like, just move over a bit, Sophie. I've got this.
As the leadoff batter, Jessie Keach, really didn't know whether she could take off for home or not, as we see a courtesy runner come in for Sarah Tonkin, who's on second base. Maddie Cameron up to bat. Gee, wouldn't you be tempted to pull an old Leroy and put her onto base?
Oh, Maddie Cameron just left that one after being walked and didn't even get a sniff her first at bat, and just watched the first one come through.
Well, Mead really come back after the first two. There's that first pitch.
Look at the look on her face. She went, yep. She nodded there and went, oh, why didn't I have a crack at that? But you're right, James. Mead has come back, hasn't she? I'm backing Maddie to get right in here, because Talameed's going to try and find a spot right now with a 2-1, and Maddie was sitting there. Oh.
Low for a ball, so that takes it to a 3-1 count as she continues to dig in there in the batter's box. And, well, she'll want one that's pretty close, because I'm certain that she'll want to continue that hitting streak from 19 and go up to 20. She
Team batting.
Takes her second walk of the game.
Team batting.
Well, that's the third walk of the inning. The two balls that have been in play have both been outs, and Lauren Jury is now up to bat.
I don't think, though, Walkerville would have minded that, to be honest with you.
Walkerville or West Torrens?
Oh, sorry, West Torrens. Walkerville either.
I have to agree with you there, Mark. I think that was a good outcome. If you couldn't get her out, probably a walk is the next best thing.
Yeah. Just pitch around her and then make her. That's going to go foul.
Jury really got a hold of that one and goes foul.
That would have scored 2, and that would have made it very interesting.
2 out, loaded bases in the bottom of the third, with the Sturt Falcons just trailing 4 runs to 1. Crushes this, and Hoyle takes a screamer of a line drive catch.
Yeah, what a catch. It's going to be interesting. She's looking very good at third base. I wonder if Lana's, just thinking, oh, hang on. What's happening here with my position?
Yeah, no, they'll be. Lana's got nothing to worry about. As we watch the leading team's replay here, she fires that one across and smoked that glove. And as Hoyle was running off, she was shaking her glove. Lana's coming around the back, having a laugh, saying, "What? I do that every week. What's the problem?"
Yeah, and you know what? It's actually really good for West Torrens that they can, have some variety. We talk about those solid positions a lot. We always think of Lana at third, Jordan at shortstop, etc. around the infield. But, there'll be times when this may not happen. Somebody might not be available, so it's good that others can come in and fill that spot.
Yep. Well, after 3 complete innings, it was the Falcons that threatened, 3 walks, loaded bases. But the Eagles deny them, and the score remains 4 runs to 1.
Have I missed that much of the game? Is Harris leading off the game?
Yeah, it's her third time.
She is. It's selfish.
Sorry, obviously leading off for the second time, but it's her third bat.
A single to 6. 6 to 3. She likes that shortstop spot, doesn't she?
Yeah.
High for ball 1 to start off the 4th inning, and Harris's third turn up to bat. The game tonight was Hills Heat versus Walkerville Cats, 3rd versus 4th, with Hills with a massive come from behind victory. Harris goes right side, and Tonkin has to back onto the grass and takes a good catch. So she was setting up pretty deep, which is good place to be with a hitter like Harris up to bat, and takes a catch.
Harris not happy with herself there, because I think she was seeing the ball very, very well. And just dropped her head as she came off there because she wouldn't have been happy with that because there's a lot of talent in that box. And speaking of which, again, followed up by Lana Kayser.
She doesn't like talking stats, but she's hitting 450 on the season, and the next best shortstop's 100 points behind that on the season so far. And she just gets so down on herself so easily, and she wants to do what's best for the team every time. So
100%.
she wants to get on base, she wants to take the extra base, she wants to be able to steal, and sometimes it's just a contribution that's going to help the team out. So
Yep.
no need for the high expectations.
100%. I've seen her in games. Oh, well, I've seen her in games where she probably hasn't had a play, but she's had more of an influence in that game because she chases every ball and she's encouraging and backing up, and that's what you want from a team player. As Kayser goes after that one, that's what you want from a team player. You can be a barometer for the team and not actually touch the ball. So, no, she'll be fine.
Change up, and Kayser hangs back for it, but a great arm from Neve Adams fires it across for the second out. So 2 quick outs for the Falcons.
Yeah, it looked like she reached for that one. So again, it might have been a change of pace. It just missed that on the replay.
Fidge's got her groove, Kathy,
Yeah,
hasn't she? She's
she
got
does.
it. I just stepped out a minute and then obviously missed the last dig, but right now she's in a groove. She's pitching well.
Well, these two teams, probably with just the 4 games to go, including tonight's game, you'd think are going to finish 1-2 on the season. Are Sturt giving anything away, showing both Zali and Millie tonight? With West Torrens not throwing Steph Trzynski, so Sturt haven't seen Trzynski all season.
I was talking to Dan Waters about this today, and I was saying that, Steph's not going to pitch tonight. I wouldn't assume that she was going to pitch, and that either of them are going to give it away. But they play again. You've got to get there. Like, you've got to secure your spot. So I'm not afraid to throw your best, get that position, get that win, and then you play again, and then you play again in another, 2 weeks or 3 weeks. These girls all know each other. I don't think they're giving anything away. I would play your strongest that you've got available.
Taylor Mead and Jackie Beale have won 2 games against Sturt so far this year.
Yeah. And look, I'm no pitching coach of any sort, but I'm all about probably trying to be clever at the right times, being strategic. And so, maybe as a pitcher, you're in front of them, but you're not showing them all your weapons. So you're keeping a few things in reserve that they're not going to see the next time. They don't see tonight, and they'll get faced with the next time.
Trzynski in the box, swings hard at the first one. Faith Picard, we saw her get her second walk of the game. No runners aboard, so no chance for an RBI. She's got 2 RBIs in the game, a single and 2 walks. So took a good catch as well out at left field earlier in the game. So Faith Picard playing very well. Backhand from Keach, fires it across for the 3rd out. Great play from Keach, right on the foul line.
Yeah, that was an awesome play. Nice backhander. It didn't come at her like a rocket, but she did exactly what she needed to do. Had a little bit of spin on it, and nice little fire over coming from over on her right side and firing it over to first accurately was great.
4-1, middle of the 4th inning in favour of West Torrens. Taylor Mead comes back and takes her spot on the pitching mound, so she'll go another inning. How many runs is Belinda Whiteworth?
She would be 1 or 2 runs in this game because they haven't had the batters come through, right? So I would say 1 or 2. But see, Maddie Cameron.
And then in defence as well, she probably takes a run away as well. So,
okay, so 1 or 2 runs. But I would say Maddie Cameron would be worth 1 or 2 runs, but they're only 1 run up. She's been walked twice. She's taken a catch. That's about the only influence she's had. You know what I mean? So
they've taken her out of the game.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult to also know how anybody will go against Taylor Mead. Because her pace is very, very different from what everybody's used to. So, I think it would mess with every batter. It doesn't matter if you're sitting on a 600 batting average or a 200 or 150. It's gonna be difficult for anybody.
Neve Adams is the batter in the box for the Falcons. They've got their work cut out for them. There's about 30 minutes to go in the game, and they need to put 3 on the board to tie it up.
Plenty of
4
time.
to go ahead.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, the games that they've played so far this year, it's Sturt defeated West Torrens 8-0. That was when West Torrens were long foul ball from Adams. That was West Torrens' 4th loss of the season, and that came in game 4, 8-0 loss in favour of Sturt. And then in round 12, it was West Torrens defeated Sturt 7-6, and then in round 20, it was West Torrens over Sturt.
Bound to happen.
11-7. Great shot from Adams. She's aboard with a very hard hit single up the middle.
Yeah, it was a beautiful hit, really solid, and gee, isn't that where you want to place those balls, right through the middle?
Look at that swing. That was an amazing swing. You saw the one before. She sort of hit it. Oh, look, it hit second. It hit second base too with some gusto and flew off. She that foul by the bunt's laid down.
That's Livy Baker, and great fielding there from Mead. Gets it right this time on the sacrifice bunt that's hit straight back to her. She's got a good smile on her face there for the first out. Adams advancing to second.
I don't know if I would have done that. I know I'm the skeptic, and I know I like to bat my way out, but you know, Mead's thrown a good game so far. She's got a little bit loose in the last. They're batting well.
And chasing 3 runs.
What do you get 1 run in innings? You know, they normally say 1 run in innings wins a game, but you haven't scored any in the first 3, so you know, you've got to make up for that.
Indigo back to Silver is the hitter for the Falcons.
Good block by Allen. Gets a little bit extra camera time.
And a good smile as well.
Yeah, having fun. Good on her.
When you're catching and that ball just sort of gets away from you a little bit and you lose sight of it, it's always a little bit of a panic for the catcher. Do I have to go to the back?
Yeah, please tell me. You're waiting for that little ting. Oh, that one's fired out, and Lambert. Harris grabs that one and fires it across the Nucky. I apologise to the Harris family.
That was a sharp chance from Beck to Silver. Went hard up the middle, and Harris at full stretch. Just out of shot there.
Great
Took
hit.
it on the backhand side. Was a great shot from Beck to Silver, and the runner did advance. There's Neve Adams there.
Let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, that's a safe hit, isn't it? Like, that was a really good spot to hit the ball. Watch that, it's up, and Harris gets it. 3 steps she took after she picked up the ball. That's how fast she was moving to get it. So great hit. Great hit.
Just puts the bat in the way of the ball, and it pops up to centre field for Steph Trzynski to complete the 3rd out of the 4th inning. And Neve Adams led off with a sharp shot up the middle, and then was advanced on a sacrifice bunt, and then a great shot from Beck to Silver, robbed by Harris, and then a pop-up fly ball, and that was it for the 4th innings for the Falcons.
Well, that just goes back to my comment about, is it the right time for the bunt to advance your runner? Because you should have batted her around, my belief, and you had that opportunity, like I was saying, right at the start of the game. Once you make contact with the ball and you put the ball in play, it puts pressure back on the fielding team, not you. You've taken off. And we saw it a couple of times, a couple of fumbles today where people have gotten on by that. So take the opportunities when they arise. Have a go.
The other game on tonight, thanks to MK Services SA, we go around the grounds. Completed was 3rd versus 4th, Hills versus Walkerville, and although Walkerville had a good lead to start with 3-0, it was the Hills Heat that came back for a 5-3 victory. The other game tonight, 5th versus 6th, Port Adelaide versus Seacombe. Lee said that he saw Johanna Grauer, so she would have been a welcome return,
I'm sure.
because last time those 2 teams played, it was Seacombe winning 8 runs to 7.
And I called that, didn't I? No, I think I said 9-7.
They had a draw early in the year as well, 1-1. Kelsey Nucky, first batter up for the Eagles here in the 5th inning.
Now, Walkerville would be missing Chelsea Robinson still, so...
Yeah, the Aussie camp, where Belinda White, Georgia Hood and Chelsea Robinson are attending for the selection. Olympic selection is on until Saturday, so they'll miss this weekend's game as well.
Crucial time, but a very important event that they're attending and hopefully participating in.
Swing, foul tip, and taken by the catcher, so Nucky into a 2-2 count. Low for a ball.
I'm not saying anything because I put the kibosh on Kelsey.
Kelsey.
No, I apologise.
Premier League returns this Saturday at 4 p.m. West Torrens versus Hills Heat will be the televised game as Nucky goes after this one. It's a high ball. First base in foul territory. Takes a chest mark. Zali Adams.
Look on her face. That was
Priceless.
Priceless, yep.
For the first out.
Oh, yeah, that was so high. But well done to judge that, because when they go up that high and you've got lights to negotiate and wind and the darkness and everything else, it is a difficult catch.
Sophie Hoyle, the new hitter. Top of the 5th inning. She's got a couple of nice pieces. One was a deep fly ball to centre field. Maddie Cameron took a great catch, and then a screaming double down the left field line.
Yeah, she's waiting for a pitch here. She's being very patient.
Been one of the players of the night, you'd say. One of the MC Sportswear players of the game with great defence at third base.
It'd be hard to take it from her.
You heard in the effects mic. She was disappointed with the pop-up, and it was a great catch taken by the catcher, Sarah Tonkin.
We've got to stop talking him up. We put the kibosh on. It's a real thing. I swear. Every time I talk somebody up or I talk well about him, as Hoyle goes after it too, straight away she gives us the old ah.
Yeah, nice take by Sarah. I'm always impressed with a catcher who can keep all of the headgear on and still negotiate those really high pop-ups and make a successful catch.
Yeah, when you're a junior, you're told to flick the mask off, but it was back in the old days when it was 2 pieces and it was heavy and shot from Fuss, pushes it right side, one bounce to Becta Silva, who fires it straight in. So Fuss with a single to right field. Great shot.
Great hit.
And we didn't talk her up before the
that's it. I'm just going to point out the negatives tonight, and that's it, all right? I've changed my attitude. As Alan makes her way out.
Gee, she's a terrible batter, isn't she?
No, Alan won't hit this. Bang! I told you.
So, Fuss, not a bad night so far. She's had a walk, a strikeout, and a great single.
And there it is,
right field.
as we watch Tonkin in the replay. Yeah, Alan is it's one of those batters that you'll hit the ball and it'll stay hit. It'll hit the German Shepherd Club.
Pushes this to second base, and Rachel Tonkin will make the third. You've done it again, Mark. Alan.
Feel free to have an early night, Mark.
Yeah.
4-3. And, geez, we're really getting through the innings now.
Yeah.
It's about 10 past 9, so about 20 minutes of game time to go. We're in the middle of the 5th inning, and the score still remains 4 runs to 1.
What? Oh, I was just looking out there and Hoyle was chewing on her mouth guard, and I thought she had a nose guard on of some description.
4-1 in favour of West Torrens. It is the battle between first and second. Probably a bit of a different look to what we might see come finals time. But let's not forget these two teams have to play each other one more time after tonight, and that'll be the final round of the minor round.
Looking at that graphic on there, it's the Battle of the Birds tonight. Was I the only one that picked that up?
Yeah, Magpies playing on another diamond tonight as well. So
a very important piece of information.
Predatory birds. Peregrine Falcon. Kathy Lambert.
It's
fastest animal. Do you call them an animal or bird? Fastest moving object living, moving object on the planet. Peregrine
Really?
falcon.
Is that good? Is that good use for a trivia question somewhere along the line? The next quiz.
Well, very special thanks to all the broadcast partners here. Infinity Signs, Spacequake Sports, CBS, that's Community Bridging Services, leading teams, MC Sportswear, MK Services, SA Bob Burns Blinds, and Everite Trophies, everite.com. I did see that one of our fully loaded partners, CPC, signed a new sponsorship agreement earlier this week.
They did.
Giving back to the community as Rachel Tonkin fouls this one off. Great to see local businesses giving back. Who was it this time? Was it a poor struggling club, or was it one of the blue chippers?
It was a poor struggling club out in the eastern suburbs, the Glenunga Rams, Glenunga Football Club. CPC jumped on board as a sponsor for the year, and good luck to the Rams.
Yeah, and get behind these poor struggling clubs as well. As Sarah Tonkin smashes this one out to the left side, and tricky one to negotiate for Faith Picard as the wind is sort of picked up a little bit to add chill to the air, and it looked like it had a bit of topspin to it as well as it sort of tailed away, and it was a great catch in the end for the first out. No, well done CPC for supporting local sport, and
we love it. We love local sport. Jim, we get around them as much as we can. And
where can we see their live broadcasts?
You can head down to the grounds and watch them live. I love the support. Canteen's open. Full bar.
All right. Well, I'm going to have a look at that contract, I think, and maybe up the price for CPC next year, Kathy.
Maybe they can throw in a few more extras with their sponsorship.
Rachel Tonkin is the hitter. Fly to centre field. Sacrifice bunt, her last turn up to bat, and she has popped up when Sturt's needed her most over the course of the last 7 games. As I mentioned, 7-game hitting streak, so they need her here and now. Pop up. Trzynski's calling it the whole way in again. It's great communication from the Eagles.
How funny was that? Trzynski takes it and says, all right, have it, then Harris can have it, because I don't think she was too happy. She tracks it all the way in.
Yeah, it's always the outfielder's ball. If the outfielder can make it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Coming in is always much easier than, better right there. But good communication. That's.
She's like, here, have it.
Well, the new infield, the new look infield from the Eagles actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. It's short, it's sharp.
Ooh. Shot from Melly Fidge. Long ball to the fence. Has it got a chance? One bounce. No one covering second. She's held up.
She's hurt herself, has she?
Oh, keep a camera on that.
Yeah, she's hurt herself.
Wow, what a shot that was from Fidge. Let's look at the leading team's replay. Middled it. Great follow through. She had a little sneaky look as well, and a couple of steps towards first. Looks down at the base. Doesn't look like she's done anything.
Maybe she's coming off.
Maybe she was slightly struggling before the turn at bat because she didn't really push hard out of the blocks. I thought it had a chance. So we'll see, watch with interest to see if she comes out to pitch the next inning for the Falcons, and hopefully she can come back quickly.
Is Cameron going to leave the first one? Is she going to leave the first one? Of course she is, because it's a ball.
High for a ball. Jordan Lee's come in for Millie Fidge to run on first base. Let's have a look at the leading team's
Watch
replay.
her face here. Watch her face here. As she
smashed it. Yeah, she looked like she was legging out, and then she held up, but Cameron leaves that one for ball 2.
Yeah, you're right. Like, that was a solid hit. Like, normally you would be looking at second without any doubt. So there must have been something before she got there, but good on her for that massive hit.
Great hit.
Cameron smashes this deep centre field. The streak continues. Couple bounces into the CBS sign. She's on her bike, turning second. Lee crosses home. But after Cameron slides into third, she was on her bike.
That is how you run when you hit a ball that far.
Yeah.
So we know that Fidge was injured of some description because she would have been motoring like that. And Cameron did not take her foot off the accelerator. As we watch here, as she's got the Harris hat drop and she turns and just round second and says, I'm going. And the cameraman says, I'll take the run going home.
That's the second run of the ball game for the Falcons, and all of a sudden they're in striking distance with a runner on third.
Yeah.
There's Cameron sliding into third.
Has Maddie Cameron changed her running style? Has she been working on that or something? Because she's got a real, a different sprint look about her these days. She used to run a little bit more upright and sort of.
Yeah, well, I mean, I started working with Maddie with the rest of the Aussie girls in the probably about 5 years ago, I think. And look, Maddie always had a bit of speed, but what I particularly watch with these runners is their foot, what they call their foot strike. So where their foot, whether it's the ball of the foot hitting the ground or their heel. And Maddie is really well placed on the ball of her foot, which gives a lot more speed. The ball of your foot.
You're supposed to hit first.
If your heel is hitting, it's called a braking motion. So if you watch any of our players in slow motion and see their toes up when they hit the ground, that's not what you want to see.
Okay, so so when you say the ball, that's under your big toe, right?
Ball of your foot is under your big, yeah. You don't want to be on your toes, but you want to be that fat sort of part just beneath your toes.
You know what? I'm not going to start running. It seems to be complicated.
Well, leading teams replay one more time for Millie Fidge.
Just there. So yes.
No, I don't think it happened in that at bat. I think it was beforehand. As Lauren Drury fouls that last one off. 2-1 count. Fouls it down the left field line, and she'll go to 3-1. The last 8 batters for the Falcons, 5 of the balls have gone out to centre field. So they're really holding back their hands now and getting their timing on Taylor Mead.
Yep.
This one's popped up to the left side. Faith Picard gets under it, takes a catch to deny the Falcons as they threaten in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 2-run margin, and West Torrens will lead after 5 innings, 4 runs to 2. Well, guys, it looks like there's about 10 minutes to go, so probably going to be the last inning of the game, the 6th inning. Any predictions of what we might see? Because we've seen Sturt really start to fight their way back into this game.
4-3. I think Sturt will claw one back in the last.
Bottom half of their lineup up to bat.
Yep, I think they'll just get the one out of there, and I think we'll see that be the end of the game.
And what does this mean for West Torrens to be able to beat top side Sturt Falcons? That's if they go on to win, Kathy, without Trzynski still throwing one pitch against the Falcons in this season.
Well, I think they go into the finals with, absolute confidence. But not just the fact that they've still got Steph in their pocket, but the fact that someone like Taylor Mead, who was a replacement pitcher, has been brought in, and look at how many games she's won for them as well. So they've got 2 backups.
Well,
and Jackie Beale as well. Yeah. Sorry, James.
Jackie Beale is the batter in the box, but I was just pointing on screen that Millie Fidge is back out there, so the damage maybe not as bad as what we first thought. Returning to the pitching plate, hasn't she been good? She's only allowed 1 run, and that was when Lana Kaiser was hit by a pitch.
She came on with loaded bases though, didn't she?
Yeah, but she got a ground out with her first batter, hit by pitch, a base on balls, then an RBI single from Steph Trzynski. So only allowed the 1 of the 4 runs.
Yeah, she's found a groove. She was a little bit shaky to the start there, and like I said, I think it just shook her game plan because she didn't expect to come in so early with Adams throwing so well.
Low for a ball, 3-1 count. Now, Adams and Fidge are the best 1-2 punch in the competition. Adams with 6 wins on the season. 6 wins on the season. Fidge with 7 wins on the season. Gee, that doesn't add up to 15. Must be 7 and 8. 7 wins for Adams and 8 wins for Fidge, and she leads the league with wins, tied with Georgia Hood with 8. So she's had a great year, Millie Fidge. Drops this one down to third base. Keach fires it
Nice
across. Great play. Zali Adams didn't have to move it first for that one.
Yeah, she picked that up well and just rocket. She's got a bit of a rocket arm, hasn't she? It's not she's just this little small thing, and wow, she's got a rocket.
But again, created an opportunity for the batting team by putting the ball into play.
Yes.
As Harris
Comes in for a fourth plate appearance. High for a ball.
She'll be looking to make amends for that last one that she pushed out into shallow right. And was caught by second.
Doesn't like the wait around. Has a go at that second one for a 1-1 count.
That was the one to go for. I was not surprised. That was a good pitch.
Smashes this to the left side. She's aboard again. Lambert. One out, one runner on.
You just called a Lambert.
Oh, God.
That's a nice hit anyway.
I've set you up there because I said it earlier. So it's probably still ringing in your ear. So Harris is on.
I know her
Kayser's
husband, he'll have a word to me about that after. Takes off. Oh, it was a big jump.
But they were onto it. Sturt her onto it. And like I said to you before, I was surprised when she did it the first time because it caught them off guard. Now they're like, oh, she could go any time. So they've got Kayser up. She'll put this through the 5-6 hole, and then Jordan Harris will be at third.
Another big lead off. We can see Zali Adams is probably
cheating.
A third of the way down the line, and with second base right back, she can take those big lead offs. Yeah, but Kayser with a 2-ball, no strike count. Hit and run. Hit and run put on from Coach Scott.
I like that move because that was smart because you can see that Adams was cheating in the last two pitches and just coming across to try and cover Harris from sneaking across. You got the power that can pull the ball in the batting box. So you put a hit and run on
a hitter's count.
Yeah, because she's going to go and open up that hole.
Change up. Kayser holds the hands back, pushes it right side. Harris turns second, and Beck De Silva's left it behind. She'll go 3 bases. Kayser will move across to third, and the Eagles put their 5th run on the board, their first in 4 innings.
Good coaching by Coach Scott there because he had eyes nothing but on Harris. And if we can watch the replay, as Indigo Beck De Silva just picked up the ball with the bare hand, I think, and just overran it. And Kayser picked it up at the same time. See there, she goes, yep, she's going to second.
Then she thought, well, there's the throw, going to go home. I'll take the extra base.
Yeah, cheeky. She's gonna ask for a triple on that one.
Faith Picard up to bat. Watches that first one high for a ball. Runner on third as well, and she's not the batter the Falcons wanted to see because she's had a great game so far. 2 RBIs, 2 walks.
That was a great pitch. You watch Harris here. I'm going to... You know what, CPC... Oh, miss scoop there.
Yeah.
CPC may invest as this one's popped out. Oh, great catch!
Great catch.
Tonkin climbs the ladder and at full strength, stretch, takes a great catch. Picard and the Eagles robbed a hit and a run. Gee, I thought she had enough, but read it well, didn't she? And she took off on that leap right at the right time. Great defensive play from Rachel Tonkin.
Oh, into the leg.
She's the younger sister, so as the younger sibling, you're always sort of living in the shadow of the older one, but it's been Sarah who has been in the team of the year for a few times the last few years, and gee, she's had a great year at second base as Trzynski pops this one up high out to centre field. Maddie Cameron comes running in.
Right, smile there, but she's like, you got nothing to worry about.
Then, Kathy?
Looked like it was a little bit of one of those ice cream cone
Yeah, it was
catches.
like one of those, I've closed it too early, or it's hit my palm and bounced back up. But Cameron had a bit of a smile and said, nah, nothing to worry about.
Got it.
third out made. Here's the leading team's replay as we see that Cameron's had to run 30 metres for that one.
Off the palm, came up.
Trzynski hits another one hard.
Did you see the way Trzynski was sort of had about 2 inches of bat sticking out the back of her hand
for
as
a
well?
more controlled swing.
Yeah. And we watched that catch by Tonkin again. That was a great catch.
Talk about great hitting seasons. Trzynski missed a couple of games earlier in the year, probably because they didn't know, how good a batter she truly was. She's one of a handful of batters this season that's got 20 hits on the season, probably putting her in the top 5 to 6 batters in the competition. So Trzynski, one of those batters hitting 400 this season, has got a hit tonight, but she's hit 4 really hard balls, put them into play each time. So great contribution from Trzynski this season.
And absolutely, James. And as a junior, she was always known as a great hitter as well. But, you go off to college in America and you're specialized in your position, and hers was pitcher. So, obviously they protect their pitchers. So, she spent 4 years pitching and not batting, and so it's really nice for her to be able to bring that skill back to her game and to the tournament.
All right, it is 5 runs to 2 in favour of the Eagles. Neve Adams to lead things off in the final inning, the last chance for the Sturt Falcons. They need to put 3 on the board to tie it and 4 to snatch a win. We've already seen 1 come from behind victory tonight, thanks to MK Services SA. We go around the grounds. It was Hills Heat, scored 4 in the last to beat Walkerville 5 runs to 3. Can the Falcons do it tonight?
I think unlikely. I think we're halfway through their innings. Yeah, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9 or something like that. So, as that one's get pushed out to...
I think she might have misread it off the bat. Says gets away from the cutoff as well. So she let it bounce in front of her. So probably better to let it drop in front of you than to give up extra bases anyway. But Neve Adams aboard with a single. So just what the Falcons needed.
Yep, and I was just saying there's a possibility that they could do it.
Ground ball to the left side. Hoyle on the run.
Oh my God,
nice
that almost knocked Harris off the base. How good is her arm?
Hoyle took a sharp chance at third. Let's look at the leading team's replay. And then off a couple of steps, she threw it off her right foot as well. So normally you throw it off the left foot.
Harris is not the tallest out there either, but she had to reach down for it.
Well, it was to her advantage not being tall out there with where that ball ended up. It would have been a long way for a tall person to get down to get that at that speed.
That was a good observation there, Jim. You're right. She sort of threw that off the right instead of throwing it off the left, isn't it? But that was trying to get the ball away quick.
Yeah.
When you got an arm as powerful as hers, that one's popped up, and Kaiser says, "Oh, that could have almost been a play of the week," as we saw one during the week.
Neve Adams got a catch. That was last week. That was brilliant on Saturday. Speaking of Saturday, we return Walkerville versus Seacon, Port versus Sturt, but the game on Spacequake Sports will be West Torrens versus Hills at the new time of 4 p.m. this Saturday. Well, down to their last 2 chances, Sturt Falcons, Bector Silva's the batter in the box. Livy Baker got aboard from the fielder's choice. Still can't ride him out because they can get round to the top of the order. They've got a good chance here of putting a couple of runs on. Well hit. Touch from Harris as that ball sort of started to die a little bit. So she had to wait for it right at the base. Picks it up, touches the base, forces Livy Baker out at second.
I think that may have clipped Taylor Mead's glove, did it? Because it's you're right, it sort of slowed down a little bit behind the pitcher, didn't it? And Harris had to just wait for it. Nucky went out there and got it, sacrificed. Great first. Every team has a great first baseman, doesn't it? Ever reliable. Needs a great
Every great team has got a great first base.
Well, obviously, but every team needs a great first baseman.
Jesse Keach and Sturt down to their last 2 outs. This one bounces in front of the plate, which makes it hard for Allen. And scooting across to second is Bector Silva, who got aboard from a fielder's choice. So back-to-back fielder's choices for the Falcons after Neve Adams led off with a single to right field. Keach hands back, fouls it off though.
Right, this is the do or die now for the Falcons, isn't it? Because you want to get Keach on, because you've got Tonkin up to bat next, and that's when the ball will start rolling in their favour. So they've got to fight this out hard, the Falcons. Disciplined batting is what they require right now. And Taylor Mead has just got to be composed and just keep doing what she's been doing all night, and that's that off pace, slightly high.
Base on balls to get round to the top of the order, and Sarah Tonkin. So 2 runners aboard for the Falcons, and their batter in the box with 2 out represents the tying run.
I didn't think we'd get to this position, to be honest with you. So I'm quite surprised. Oh, as Tonkin lets that one through, Kathy, that was the one.
Oh, that was a beautiful pitch.
Well, Mead deserves it here to close out a great game. Only given up the 2 runs to the top of the table, Sturt Falcons.
Yeah, she's done very well.
100%. If she pulls this off, if the West Torrens pull this off, a huge congratulations.
Oh,
Just off
Received
the
it
outside
outside.
edge.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Well, standing in her way is Tonkin, Fidge and Cameron.
Is that all? I'll be honest, I couldn't get those girls out. So if Taylor Mead can pull this off, that shows true character and some talent in there.
Leading
Is
teams
that
to
one?
replay. Yeah,
Oh,
just outside.
I tell you what, they're lucky. They're lucky that they've got Michael Bendall out there and not my old mate out there behind second.
Ground ball. Foul ball called. So the line saves the Falcons.
nice pickup by Sophie Hoyle there, wasn't it? Again, off the backhand, nice quick reflexes.
A life for Tonkin. A life for the Falcons.
They're quite good friends too, aren't they? Oh, as Hoyle picks that one up, plays her bag, and that's it.
A great win for Taylor Mead and the West Torrens Eagles. Sophie Hoyle completes the play. Ground ball from Tonkin. She fields it, touches the base, and I can't separate Taylor Mead and Sophie Hoyle. Maybe even throw Faith Picard in there as well, because great contribution from the whole Eagles team.
Agree. Like Jordan Harris, some great defensive plays. Steph Trzynski, the amount of balls that she was going for out there in the field as well. Like I agree. I've been thinking about it for about the last batter, thinking where would I go. But great team effort. But I agree. I'm going to split it between both Sophie and Taylor Mead tonight.
For some reason, I'm liking Carly Allen as well, because she did a lot behind the plate and controlled the game and controlled the temperament of Taylor Mead and just talked to her and stuff like that. But you're right, I think Sophie Hoyle, Taylor Mead, and then throw them up and whoever you catch.
Some pretty good contributions from the other side of the ledger as well. Sturt just it never felt like they were out of the game, did it? Maddie Cameron, 2 walks and a triple, keeps her streak alive. I was thinking Favola on 99 goals against, who was it? It was against Hawthorn, I think. And they put a couple of defenders back on him to deny him of that 100th goal. Yeah, I'm just trying to say, teams denying a great player a milestone. And
did he get the 100 goals?
No, he didn't. And Maddie Cameron hadn't faced a strike first couple of turns at bat. So it was great to see her get the hit. That's my point. I went around the line. Neve Adams, hasn't her last couple of games been brilliant defensively and offensively? A sacrifice fly, her first turn at bat, and then 2 singles. And then Millie Fidge as well came in and really held West Torrens for the last 4.5 innings before they were able to score again off the back of a Harris single, and then Kaysler got aboard, and gee, they made him pay on that error out to right field. So, yeah, great game of softball, and if it's a preview for the final series, we've got a big one coming up, haven't we? Just a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
It was West Torrens 5-2 over the Falcons, and that will put West Torrens 1 point behind ladder leaders Sturt Falcons. Sturt Falcons will go 31, remain 31 points. West Torrens up to 30. Hills Heat had a win tonight to go up to 25. So the top 3 places are set, you would think, with just 3 more games to go. The other stat, though, for the Falcons, in the last 9 games, they've won 5 and lost 3, whereas West Torrens have won 8 and lost 1. So
yeah, they're on a roll, coming home. It's the pointy end of the season, and that's where you want to be playing your best softball, Kathy, landing on the ball of your foot, rounding.
Yeah.
Second.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, that's actually the type of things that I look for when people are running the bases, and I think, oh, you're fast, but you could be faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, no, it's an exciting lead into the finals. It's still everyone's game. There's no clear favourites out there, and yeah, I'm really excited for the next few weeks, and hope everyone else is out there as well, and looking forward to joining in with us.
All right, well, very special thanks to our broadcast partners, MC Sportswear, leading teams, Spacequake Sports and Softball SA. This has been Premier League action. It was West Torrens 5 over the Sturt Falcons 2. We'll see you on Saturday afternoon.